more students to carry self-defense items on campus.
Plus, former Attorney General Pam Bondi prepares to testify in connection to a probe involving convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
And after weeks of negotiation, the U.S. and Iran reach a deal to reopen Strait of Hormuz. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Jenna Bolton.
And I'm Natalie LaFleur. Welcome to Newswatch.
Traffic on Columbus Road is being reduced to one lane to make way for new construction projects. Flagging is taking place every weekday beginning at 7 a.m.
City of Athens officials are asking motorists to do their best to avoid the street until construction ends on Tuesday, June 2nd.
Over $47,000 in grants to support civic learning experiences were awarded to 17 counties in Appalachian, Ohio. The grants were awarded from the Foundation for Appalachian Ohio in partnership with the Longaberger Family Foundation. The grants will support civics education programming at K-12 public schools across the region, including Fort Fry High School in Washington County and Caldwell Exempted Village School District in Noble County.
An Ohio lawmaker wants to guarantee college students the right to carry non-lethal self-defense tools on campus. The Campus Self-Defense Act would ban public universities from restricting adults from carrying items like pepper spray, tasers, and stun guns. The bill would force Ohio University to go against their individual safety policy, which currently lists the self-defense tools as prohibited items. Under this new legislation, the university wouldn't be able to discipline students for using these tools, nor could they require students to register them.
The city of Nelsonville has a new city manager. The statutory city council appointed Danette Miller to the role at their meeting last night. Miller's appointment is through 2029. She's been serving as interim city manager since January. Miller's salary will start at $120,000, and she'll receive a $5,000 increase each year through the end of her contract.
A tax break on the sale of the materials data centers used in construction will end temporarily on Monday. Governor Mike DeWine ordered the Ohio Tax Credit Authority to freeze new requests for the tax break exemption, something he had allowed in the state budget after lawmakers tried to remove it. His decision came on the same day as the first meeting of state lawmakers on the Joint Data Center Committee. Dan Diorio with the Data Center Coalition was the first to speak to the panel.
We've definitely seen a very beautiful start to our weekend here in Athens. We had a washout week for a majority of our week where we saw accumulations up to 4 inches of rain. Now we are going to start seeing some high pressure developing up in the Michigan-Ohio border, and that's going to move into our area. And we're also going to start seeing omega blocks start to develop in the United States-Canadian border. I'm going to hit on that a little bit in my full weather forecast, but just taking a look around regionally, just south of I-70, 74 in Zanesville, and 76 in Lancaster, then through the Ohio River Valley, 82 in Huntington, and 77 in Parkersburg. Currently, though, here in Athens, we are sitting at around 78 degrees with clear skies out there. It was a pretty windy day out there where we saw gusts of wind up to 15 miles per hour. It is going to quickly die down heading into tonight. We'll have clear skies out there, and we'll see that overnight low of 48. And then heading into tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. We see that high of 78 and that low of 50. So it's going to be a beautiful start to our weekend. I'm going to send it back to Natalie and Jenna at the desk.
Thank you, Kelvin. The Justice Department is launching an investigation into the former magazine columnist who accused President Trump of sexual assault. Former magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll alleged the president sexually abused her in a New York department store in the mid-1990s. She also accused him of defaming her by repeatedly denying the assault. The investigation centers around whether Carroll committed perjury in testimony tied to her lawsuits against the president. At issue are Carroll's comments that she received no outside funding for her lawsuit. It was later revealed billionaire Reid Hoffman had paid some legal fees and expenses.
Dozens of former federal judges from both political parties are joining a growing legal effort to block President Trump's billion-dollar anti-weaponization fund. In a motion filed yesterday, the 35 retired judges asked to reopen President Trump's lawsuit against the IRS. The group says the lawsuit, quote, is itself a fraud on the court, and the settlement, quote, was not and never will be legally justified. They say by reopening the case, the judge can investigate whether she was possibly deceived. When closing the case, the judge criticized the manner in which the lawsuit came to an end, since Trump's lawyers didn't say in court that there was a settlement.
Former Attorney General Pam Bondi will appear before the House Oversight Committee in connection to its Jeffrey Epstein probe. Lawmakers have been pushing for months to question her about how the Justice Department handled Epstein case files under her leadership. The panel previously subpoenaed Bondi, but once she was ousted, the department argued she could no longer testify in an official capacity.
We have to understand here that it is time for her to bring the truth to all the survivors and the American people. So we have high hopes that this hearing tomorrow will really bring some closure and some sort of step towards accountability at this point.
It's unclear how much the committee will learn in the closed-door hearing. Bondi will not be under oath, and the interview will not be filmed. The committee says it will release a transcript soon after the hearing.
U.S. officials say the U.S. and Iran have reached a tentative deal, though President Donald Trump has yet to sign off on it. The alleged agreement would lift constrictions on the Strait of Hormuz, including unrestricted navigation by vessels and the lifting of a U.S. blockade. The agreement would also start a 60-day negotiation period to address Iran's nuclear program.
A tough job market.
And CNN sues an AI company over claims of copyright, what this means for the future of content distribution.
Sunny skies is back in the forecast. Stay tuned to see how long it'll last.
Return to Broadway with great performances for a spotlight on musicals then and now, all of them different, and yet with one thing in common.
Jews.
The Jewish heritage of the composers and lyricists who created that special brand of American optimism.
The quintessential Broadway musical.
And so much more.
The idea of outsiders overcoming obstacles.
Look for Broadway Musicals, A Jewish Legacy, on Great Performances.
Friday at 9 on WOUB.
I think about what if I took a right turn instead of a left turn. I think I would have missed a lot.
You're getting into heavy stuff now, so be careful.
Wow, I have goosebumps. I can start crying.
CasualWorks was not designed, created, or maintained by people who studied disability. They're people who studied opportunity. If a person has very limited movement and can make little teeny circles, there's a place for you. The idea of workers contorting themselves to a job is one business model. Our business model is that the job responds to the worker.
Graduation season is upon us, and the class of 2026 is facing a tough job market.
The unemployment rate for recent college graduates is higher than the national average, and fewer companies are hiring entry-level jobs.
Jen Sullivan breaks down the numbers and has details on which industries are hiring.
Graduating college is a major milestone, setting students up for success as they enter the real world. But many are struggling to find a job.
They've spent the last 4 years learning how to get that first job. Something seems to have broken down here now.
Derek Thompson is the host of the Plain English podcast, which explores issues around technology, the economy, and culture. The March unemployment rate among young college graduates ages 22 to 27 was 5.6%. That's 33% higher than the unemployment rate among all workers, according to the New York Federal Reserve.
For the first time on record, young college graduates now have a higher unemployment rate than the general population.
Thompson says the decline in graduate employment began in 2022, which is also the year ChatGPT was released. But he says there are factors other than AI contributing to these low numbers.
What you've seen since 2022 is that the overall hiring rate in this country has gone down, down, down.
Recent data from hiring site ZipRecruiter found the number of entry-level job openings has decreased in the last 3 years. Yet the demand for entry-level jobs remains high, which means there's more competition to land one of those openings.
It's kind of like the economy is a full house, right? Young people can't come in to the house, like the doors are locked, but everyone in the house, everyone who's older than 25, 30, they overwhelmingly have a job.
But it's not all bad news. ZipRecruiter also found that more recent graduates are landing a job within 3 months of graduating. When it comes to hiring, healthcare leads the way in openings, followed by engineering, computer science, architecture and urban planning, and finance, according to ZipRecruiter. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Well, we are all rising seniors, so we are going to be entering the job market in about a year's time. Are you guys nervous, excited? What are your thoughts?
I mean, after watching that, the job market, it definitely has me nervous. It doesn't look too promising. Hopefully it can change a little bit in the next year.
I agree, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. You always got to be nervous about, going into the real world, moving on, so yeah.
It doesn't feel real. I still feel like I'm in high school, literally. I'm definitely a little bit nervous after watching that. Well, the job market is a little bit gloomy, but Kelvin, can you please tell us if it's nice outside or if it's going to look a little gloomy still?
Well, luckily for us, it's going to be very nice, at least in the upcoming hours. Over the past 24 hours last night, we saw that low pressure move out of our region, and that allowed that chance for our lows last night to dip right back down into the 50s because we saw that lack of clouds, and that clouds acts as a thermal blanket for our environment. So we saw around 59 degrees around 6 a.m. today, and then with how clear it was, we saw our daytime heating jump right back up into the lower 80s. Now, we are noticing a little bit of a trend within our forecast as we are seeing a little bit of a radar or a omega block by the Canadian-United States border. So an omega block acts as a traffic jam within the jet stream. So a jet stream typically moves from the west to the east. Now we're going to start seeing some unusual weather patterns within this jet stream. So there is a high pressure system right by the Canadian-United States border and a lot of ridging. So we're seeing a lot of that southerly warm air getting dragged up northerly. So what does this mean for Athens? So in the upcoming days, as that slowly moves off east, we're going to continue to see our highs continue to increase and a lot of high pressure. So just taking a look at our surface analysis map just around the country, we do see some high pressure forming off on the Michigan-Ohio border. That's going to continue to track down on southerly. And we also see this cold front that went through last night. That cold front and a little bit of high pressure really knocked off that low pressure system just to the south and east. Now, heading into tonight, we can expect our winds to calm down. We saw gusts up to 15 to 20 miles per hour today. As the overnight hours come, they're going to continue to go down. And we're going to have a chilly and very clear night ahead of us. We're going to be in the upper 40s for a majority of our night tonight, but a lot of clear skies out there. And then heading into tomorrow, we're going to see our highs right back up into the 70s. Currently, though, we are sitting at around 78 degrees with clear skies out there, and we can already see those winds dying down as they are at around 10 miles per hour right now. Heading into tonight, we'll see that overnight low of 48 with clear skies out there. And then heading into tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, high of 78 and that overnight low of 50. So it's going to make for a beautiful start to our weekend, and we're going to see much of the same heading into this weekend. Just taking a look at tomorrow morning, that high pressure is still continuing to intensify and build, and it's going to stay pretty much stationary heading into tomorrow night. We're also going to start to see this high pressure by the Carolinas start to form, and both of those mixing in together is going to make for a beautiful start to our weekend. But then heading into Saturday morning, that high pressure is continuing to stay stationary, and we're starting to notice this cold front starting to form and move into our region. By Saturday night, it's going to be crossing our region. We're going to see a little bit of a chillier Saturday, and then heading into our 7-day forecast. Heading in through Saturday, we'll see partly sunny skies, high of 75 and a low of 50. Heading into Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high of 77, overnight low of 53. Monday, mostly sunny skies, 75 will be the high and an overnight low of 51. Heading into Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, high of 75, overnight low of 51. Heading into Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high of 77, low of 46. And then heading into Thursday, we'll see scattered clouds, high of 79 and a low of 48.
Thanks, Calvin. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index hit its highest rate in almost 3 years, peaking at 3.8%. Experts say the increase was fueled largely by the oil price shock brought on by the war in Iran. If you strip away food and gas, the rate 3.3%, decreasing by nearly 0.5%. Consumer spending also tapered off, seeing an increase of just 0.5% versus a full % increase from March.
Television network CNN is suing AI company Perplexity for unlawfully copying and distributing content. In a statement, CNN says the public relies on high-quality journalism that comes from humans and that such reporting can be expensive and even dangerous. The news organization says it's open to, quote, sensible licensing arrangements, but won't allow Perplexity to use its content for free. The court filing indicates the two companies worked on a content deal last year, but did not agree on terms.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced the launch of a new app to help parents manage their child's Trump account. Bessent says 6 million children are already signed up for the IRA-style savings account. Parents and loved ones can contribute up to $5,000 a year into the account, and the federal government will donate an extra $1,000. The accounts don't officially open for investment until July 4th.
A federal judge will not block President Donald Trump's executive order regarding voting by mail. The order, originally filed in March, involved compiling data to vet voter rolls for non-citizens and providing the USPS with a list of eligible mail-in voters. The judge, who is a Trump appointee in Washington, D.C., ruled potential harms argued by the challengers were too speculative at this point, allowing the executive order to move forward. The decision is a setback for the voting rights groups who argue Congress has not passed any laws giving Trump the authority to carry out these directives.
The FBI is warning about a scam that allows hackers to access Microsoft 365 accounts. It involves a phishing-as-a-service platform called Kali 365 that popped up last month. The FBI says targets receive emails impersonating a cloud productivity or document sharing service. They contain device codes and instructions to enter them on a real Microsoft page. Doing so allows attackers to access a user's account. To prevent such scams, experts suggest verifying email senders and not clicking unfamiliar links or attachments.
Harm, then good.
Newswatch will be right back after the break. For all news in Southeast Ohio, be sure to follow WOUB.
We are in the very midst of a revolution, the most complete, unexpected, and remarkable of any in the history of nations. Objects of the most stupendous magnitude, and measures in which the lives and liberties of millions yet unborn are intimately interested, are now before us. John Adams.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
Thanks to viewers like you, we've been able to tell America's stories on this PBS station. Help us continue to tell these stories now and for future generations by including this station in your charitable plans.
Supporting this PBS station through a gift of stock is easy. To find out more, call the number on your screen or visit this website. Thank you.
One of the powerful realities is we embrace change, but we also have these traditions that never go away.
All of this information I didn't even know existed.
Oh, I get goosebumps.
American music quickly was becoming black music, because that's the roots of rock and roll.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation waging a relentless warfare against crime and criminals.
No place in the history of the earth has remade itself more resiliently than New York.
They came at a time when you can really say a lot of Americans needed them.
We are putting together the pieces to tell the correct story. This is who we are.
There are so many founding fathers and mothers that are being overlooked.
There are 2 hidden doors.
I love a hidden door.
Yes. Do you want to go there?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Dietary supplements are used to add nutrients to a person's diet, and taking these pills, powders, or liquids continues to gain popularity. But experts are sending out a warning, saying excessive use can be hazardous to your health.
Mandy Gaither talks to a doctor about how to know if you're taking too many supplements.
You can find them in stores and online.
Supplements ranging from vitamins to minerals like calcium seem to be surging in popularity.
I think people are using more supplements nowadays.
Integrative medicine specialist Dr. Yu Fang Lin with the Cleveland Clinic says people use supplements for a variety of reasons, including vitamin C when they're sick, omega-3 and ginger for inflammation, magnesium for sleep, collagen for anti-aging, and protein powder for fitness goals.
With the rise of social media and influencers pushing or advertising supplements, there's also increasing use because of those.
Lynn says a vitamin supplement may be okay for some, including those who have diet deficiencies, anyone with trouble absorbing or digesting food, those with a history of intestinal or stomach surgery, or if a person is low in vitamin D, especially in winter months.
However, excess supplements can be toxic to the body as well and can be a burden.
Supplements aren't regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, and Lynn says taking too many can take a toll on the body, especially the kidney and liver. Some can also interfere with medications. So before using a supplement, she says to consider whether it's safe and necessary. If you do take them, she says to monitor whether you're seeing benefits.
They need to be taken with the same consideration you would have when you're taking a medication.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Walmart is recalling 165,000 fabric dressers, citing risks of serious injury or death to children from tipping over. The recalled dressers have a black metal frame and 9 brown or black fabric drawers with handles. They were sold in person and online from September 20th to 23rd through March of this year. If you have one, you can return it to any Walmart store for a full refund.
CDC officials are raising concerns over the Trump administration's newest efforts to keep the Ebola virus out of the country. The Trump administration recently announced they are setting up a quarantine facility in Kenya to care for Americans who were possibly exposed to the virus. But CDC officials are concerned the facility will not offer the same quality of treatment as in the U.S. Officials are also worried the plan will make it harder to recruit Ebola response team workers.
New data is showing that nicotine-based e-cigarettes may increase the risk of cancer. The recently published review from journal Carcinogenesis summarized evidence showing e-cigarette aerosols can damage DNA and trigger chronic inflammation, both of which are associated with cancer development. The authors concluded the consistency of findings from several studies raises substantial concern that vaping is not harmless and could increase cancer risk over time. Researchers are concerned that the U.S. is experiencing a reading recession after recent test scores trended downward. Leigh Waldman has more on the startling trend.
83% of school districts in the U.S. has seen a decline in reading achievement since 2015.
Harvard professor Dr. Tom Kane and his partners at Stanford and Dartmouth created the Education Scorecard, a real-time window into how students and local school districts across the country are learning. What they found, only 5 states plus the District of Columbia had meaningful growth in reading test scores from 2022 to 2025. Nationally, students are nearly half a grade level behind pre-pandemic reading scores.
The pandemic was just the mudslide that followed 7 years of gradual erosion in student achievement.
The Education Scorecard found over 100 districts are defying the trend and seeing improvements in reading. In the 2025 school year, West Baton Rouge Parish Schools earned its highest performance score in its history.
We've gone back to phonics. For students to learn to read and comprehend complex text, they've got to be able to decode and have those foundational reading skills.
That return to phonics, the science of reading, is being done on a larger scale at Atlanta Public Schools. Superintendent Dr. Brian Johnson has a goal to increase third grade English language arts proficiency by 20% by 2030, with a focus on phonics.
We believe that we should set those rigorous goals, and then we should put the supports in place. We have amazing teachers and amazing staff that are supporting the work and are making it happen.
I'm Leigh Waldman reporting.
Still ahead, popular snack brand Doritos launches a brand new way to celebrate America 250.
A female gorilla and her newborn. The arrival of her baby is the start of a new chapter. parenthood. Her journey will be challenging, but success for her and for all parents has the greatest of consequences. It ensures the future of life on our planet.
Wednesday at 10:30 on WOUB.
The LA firestorm was one of many recent fire disasters causing unprecedented destruction. Now these tragic fires seem inevitable. But does it have to be that way? I'm Maya May, the host of PBS's Weathered, and I'm on a journey to understand the aftermath of the LA firestorm, how we're facing this moment of extreme change, and how we can prevent the next tragedy before it's too late.
My people in the buffalo have a shared history together.
The buffalo was sacred, and they could not imagine existence without the buffalo.
They were put on this earth to help us survive.
To think that our greed and our industrialization would blink this thing out.
This is the buffalo's last chance.
They've survived. We've survived. We both persisted.
Sunday at 7 on WOUB.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
Popular chip brand Doritos announced a brand new way to celebrate America 250. Their new contest, Build the Bold, is offering a $250,000 prize to the American who can build the best U.S. landmark out of Doritos chips. Contestants must submit a video explaining how they built the structure and the reason for its selection. Among the approved landmarks eligible for this contest are the U.S. Capitol Building, Niagara Falls, and the Lincoln Memorial. Each contestant can submit 3 different entries. The winner is expected to be announced in August. Well, I just think that challenge is kind of crazy, but really, really cool. I mean, $250,000, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, $250,000, but you're probably going to have to use about 250,000 chips to even make something close to that. I mean, these are huge monuments we're talking about.
I agree. I cannot wait to see what people come up with. I would love to, try and do it, though. I don't think it would turn out really great. I would love to try to make the Statue of Liberty, honestly.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm telling myself that I could probably do it, but I know in reality I don't think it would be very good.
Yeah, I got a little bit more confidence going for maybe the Lincoln Memorial. But,
pretty cool.
Let's go into something I'm a little bit more confident in, just taking a look at what's going around the region. We're taking a look just south of I-70, 74 in Zanesville and 76 in Lancaster, then through the Ohio River Valley, 82 in Huntington and 77 in Parkersburg. Currently here in Athens, though, we are sitting at 78 degrees with clear skies out there. We are still seeing a little bit of stronger winds from the north at around 10 miles per hour. We're still expecting those to die off as we head into the overnight tonight, where we see that low at 48 with lots of clear skies. And then those clear skies will be sticking around, mostly sunny skies out tomorrow. High of 78 and that low of 50. So it's going to be a beautiful start to our weekend. And then just taking a look at our 7-day outlook, heading in through Saturday and Sunday. Highs in the upper 70s with lows in the 50s with plenty of sunshine, and then much of the same into next week.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Have a great night.